So guys, if you read the title, you know what I'll be talking about today. Today, I'm going to be talking about why Pokemon Sword and Shield, in my opinion, is unacceptable. I've been wanting to make this video for a little while, but I just never had the time. I was making other videos. So yeah, let's just jump into it. So I want to tell you guys my stance on Pokemon before we get into all of this, and I want to tell you why I'm really so pissed off about this game. But yeah, so I don't think Pokemon Sword and Shield will be a bad game. I think it will be okay. I think it'll be alright. I think it'll be pretty enjoyable. It'll have a lot of hours of gameplay, but that's where my problem is. I have different expectations for every video game franchise. When Ubisoft decides to make a bad Just Dance game, I don't care because it's Just Dance and I don't care about Just Dance. But when it comes to a franchise like Halo and Bungie decides to make a bad Halo game, I'm gonna get pissed because I love Halo. I mean, Halo 5 wasn't even a bad game. It's better than almost all the modern Call of Duty games, I think, and it's better than a lot of games nowadays, but I expect greatness from Halo because of the past and how great the older games were. I don't accept mediocre games like Halo 5. But that's where Pokemon comes in. With Halo, I expect greatness. But with Pokemon, I've started to accept mediocrity. And I'll tell you why. The last great Pokemon game we really got was Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. Every game since then, excluding remakes, has really just been okay. I mean, X and Y was pretty bad. Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon were mediocre, and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were pretty bad as well. That's not a good record. But over the years, I've just started to accept Pokemon making mediocre games. But I'm not having it with Sword and Shield. I've had enough. I mean, we have to remember that GameFreak is a multi-billion-dollar company in charge of the single most valuable media franchise on the planet, being Pokemon. They're also supported by Nintendo, but GameFreak still cannot make a good game. To me, that is just bullshit, alright? And like I said in my last rant video, I have a lot of respect for the people making the video games, the people at the bottom, the workers of GameFreak. I think they put their heart and soul into these games, and I can respect that. But I can put my heart and soul into making a pie. But if I'm restricted to making only a pie made of dirt, I'm not going to get very far. It doesn't matter how hard I work on a game, if I'm not given the resources I need, it's not going to turn out very well. And this is what's happening with GameFreak and Pokemon. GameFreak is not giving the time needed to make a great Pokemon game. They are cutting off, things here, cutting off things there, taking a shortcut here, just so they can make money. And they're gonna make money. People are gonna buy the game, so they know they can get away with it. But to me, that's pretty, it's just unacceptable. It just shows how little GameFreak cares about their fan base, the people who've been here for years. GameFreak, the whole National Dex situation, cutting off hundreds of Pokemon from the Sword and Shield, decks. You can't even get them anymore. Not only that, Sword and Shield looks like a upscaled 3DS game. It does not look great. The textures, all of that, it's really disappointing. Not to mention the game is $20 more than it used to be. Honestly, Sun and Moon looked a lot more promising and it looked like it had more content. Why are we having to pay $20 more? I don't think we should have to. And the fact that this is all coming from not a third-party developer. This is coming from one of the biggest gaming companies out there making the biggest, game. It's Pokemon. And it really, really sucks. How is it possible for a dev like CD Projekt Red, with a limited staff, definitely does not have as much money as GameFreak? How is it possible for them to make The Witcher in 4 years, but GameFreak can't make a good Pokemon game? And here's where my major problem with GameFreak comes in, is the fact that I think everybody who wants a great Pokemon game, everybody who wants the National Dex, everybody who wants a cool looking Pokemon game, an interesting Pokemon game, would all be willing to give GameFreak more time. But GameFreak is not going to use that time. They are not going to take the time that we are giving them and make a better game. They want to release it so they can start work on their next game and start work on their next game. Because they're turning into Activision, releasing a new game every single year like Activision and Call of Duty. Call of Duty has went down the tube. You know, Pokemon, it's starting to go down the tube, and it's just sad to see. As a huge Pokemon fan like me, you know, the franchise is slipping away, and it really sucks. And, you know, there's fanboys out there defending GameFreak. If you are defending GameFreak after all this just been said, I don't think there's any hope. You know, there's some valid points. I think some people think the Pokemon formula it works. People like that formula, and that's fine. Keep the same formula. But GameFreak hasn't changed up the game for damn near 20-something years. The last really great Pokemon game was honestly Pokemon Silver and Gold, where they added 2 regions. I've played better fan games than real Pokemon games. Just 2 people working on a Pokemon game can make a better game than GameFreak, and that just is really sad. So yeah, that's my opinion on the matter. If you liked it, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike, obviously. Tell me what your opinion is. Leave it in the comments. And I want to talk to you guys. I want to have a discussion. So that's just my thoughts on the matter. Thanks for watching.